Well, the clubs were, well, a little concerned, I think we could say, with all the draft concessions that were given first to the Gold Coast, then to GWS. What another great draft it does look for the Giants. When you have a look at these selections, that is outstanding. As we mentioned, 3 in the top 7, 5 inside the top 25. What to get excited about if you're involved in the football department at the Giants, Jono?
Oh, very excited. As we mentioned earlier as well, you add Ryan Griffin to that mix as well, which they were able to get over the pre-season period, the off-season period. So fantastic effort from the Giants to be able to produce that. And then the picks 4, 6 and 7, it's impressive. They're going to get some good talent in that period of time.
Well, they are, and who better to tell us than the man that runs the football department at the GWS Giants, and that's Graham Gubby Allen. Welcome to you, Gubby.
Thanks, Jace.
Another plethora of early picks. It must be so much fun to be in list management at GWS the last few years.
Well, it's been good in list management. It hasn't been good in results on the field, but it's coming. Yeah.
Well, is there a particular emphasis at this draft? Now that you've stockpiled a bit of talent, do you start being a little more specific in what you're looking for?
We'll take the best talent, but we'll also balance our list up a little bit. We balanced it up really well with the trade, but we'll balance it up a little bit more in this draft.
Going outside, you've got picks in 4, 6 and 7, then a couple in the early 20s, so things may fall for you the way that you expect there, but how do you approach then later on when you go right out to the 70s? Is it just, have you got specific targets for that period of the draft as well?
We're not sure if we'll go that far, John.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. That's a straightforward answer.
Yeah.
Through that 20s period then,
yeah.
What aspect, how are you approaching that period of the draft?
Well, we've already got one boy, Jack Steele, who's a boy from Canberra who we rated as a first-round pick. So he's on it now. The second selection, I really think that's going to be who's there. With 4, 6 and 7, you can really, hopefully we know who that is, Nilly. Not that we can say here, but we sort of know who that is. 23 we're not sure of. Yeah.
And Gubby, how many hours would you spend throughout the season? How many players would you actually sit down and interview their parents, their teachers, their football coaches? How many man-hours go behind the scenes to prepare for this draft?
Well, none from me. But Stephen Silvani and Paul Brody and the recruiting team have done a marvellous job, and there'd be hundreds and hundreds of hours gone into that. So we've got, on the computer there, we've got a summary of everything they've got and done. So it's a fantastic effort. Yeah.
Tell us about the final decision, your final meeting where you make up your mind what you might do with 3 choices in the top 10. How long does it take? What personnel are involved, and when was that?
Well, we have a list management committee, which is 5 or 6 of us on it, and probably the last week. But even then, we're not sure who will be the top 3, because there's still, this is one of the first drafts that you don't really know what's going on. The top 3, we probably know 2 of them, so that'll influence our pick 4.
Gubby, appreciate your time, and let's hope it's another very successful draft for the Giants.
Thanks, Jeff. We're coming after Hawthorn.
Pick 4, GWS Giants.
Player number 214833, Jared Pickett, South Fremantle, Jandakot Jets Junior Football Club.
Jono, the first of 3 top 7 picks for GWS.
Well, Jason, I think Cyril is quick. Watch out for Jared Pickett. He possesses blistering speed. He's an exhilarating small forward, loves to run with the ball, taking on all before him, kicks goals. His pace and ability to make the unthinkable look easy has seen him compared to Cyril Rioli, Chris Sharon. He also takes a high mark, as you've just seen on the screen, uses his speed to hunt the opposition and push into the midfield. He's been able to do that by showing the recruiters a beat test of 14 during the combine, and that just combines with his speed, which we've seen, 20-metre time of 2.87, which is absolutely elite. He'll work well with Devon Smith and could be in a great rotation in the years to come with Ryan Griffin up through the midfield forward.
Jared Pickett, now a GWS Giant at pick 4.
Pick 6, GWS Giants.
Player number 215071, Caleb Marchbank, Murray Bushrangers, Benalla Football Club.
Well, Well, he's had a few injuries, knee and hip injuries, but they haven't stopped Caleb Marchbank from proving his credentials as a key defender who can also swing forward. He's mobile and strong overhead, a real competitor who anticipates the reading of the play really well, is prepared to leave his man, Josh Gibson style, to help his teammates, which is a great attribute, especially in that defensive end of the ground. A natural leader, an organiser in defence, will look to add more of an offensive side to his game as he grows confidence within the AFL environment. He can also provide an option as a leading forward, averages 14 disposals, 4 marks and 3 tackles on his way to All-Australian Under-18 honours at the NAB AFL Under-18 Championships.
Well, the coach is very happy with him. At number 6, Caleb Marchbank, now a GWS Giant.
Shifter, it's another great pickup for the Giants.
Oh, look, I love the word composure to describe the way Caleb goes about his work. So composed, he reads it like an Andrew Mackie, cuts the angles beautifully across half-back, and the fact he can throw him forward's also a bonus.
The Giants are on a roll as we go back to Gillen.
Pick 7, GWS Giants.
Player number 214959, Paul Ahern, Calder Cannons, Keilor Football Club.
Well, Paul has the ability to put his game into slow motion at times, in the right way, of course, on a football field. He's 182 centimetres, a goal-kicking midfielder. He'll add pace and class already. That is already on the list with the Giants. Ahern's kicking on the run, in particular, is superb, often dictating where his teammates will lead. So forwards will love to absolutely get in his vision for the Giants. He seems to love the big occasion. Collects 26 disposals, booted 1 goal in the TAC Cup Grand Final, in the NAB AFL Under-18 Championships. His best 2 games he combined for 45 disposals, 5 goals, confirming his standing amongst one of the elite players in the country. Models his game on Brett Delidio and the Hill brothers, so look for that grunt work around the midfield, on the outside, that run and burst, and as we see now, finishing some important goals for the Giants in the years to come.
Paul Ahern at selection 7 from the Calder Cannons to the GWS Giants.
Well, that is very, very good bloodlines. We're just looking at Melbourne having the last selection here in round 2. And then we'll show you all of those round 2 selections. They took a little bit of extra time, the D's, just over that one. So let's take a look at exactly how round 2 did pan out. Tell me about pick number 28 there, please, Shifter.
Dylan Viojo Rainbow, he's the left footer. Matty Suckling, if you'd like him, he's a beautiful kicker, user of the footy, a boy for the Western Jets. Some of the other players, Toby McLean's one that's bobbed up, was playing for Narry Warren last year, didn't get a go at the Dandenong Stingrays where he zoned to and went across to the Oakley Chargers. By the end of the year, he's best on the ground in the TAC Cup Grand Final. Just had a fantastic year, but has come from left field. And then Patrick McKenna, we noticed him, he was the Australian under-19 cricket captain. He's the one from community footy. He's your smoky that's bobbed up that early. There was talk of him nominating.
Well, let's go way back to pick number 4. It was GWS. They took a young man by the name of Jared Pickett, and Ben Dixon has caught up with him.
Jared, it's a big move from the West to GWS. You pretty happy?
Yeah, I can't wait to get started, obviously. Yeah, just exciting hearing my name get called out by the club, and going to be loyal, I guess, from now on.
Most players here at the draft don't really know whether they're going or where they're going. When did GWS let you know that they wanted you?
So I found out just only a few days ago, but still a bit, didn't really know what was going to happen, but finally the draft came and they picked me at pick 4, so happy with that. So, yeah.
Pretty daunting experience here, isn't it, tonight? You got the big stage here and getting your name called out. Tell us the emotions.
Yeah, so coming into it, I wasn't that nervous, and then until I walked in and seen everything how it's all set up, and then you see all the recruiters walking in, and it's just a scary moment, but it's so nervous, and you just get excited as well, I guess.
Exciting speed yourself. Who do you model your game on? Who from the AFL did you go, right, this is how I want to play?
So I guess I try to model myself on Chris Sharon. I think just the way he breaks the lines. I think we have similar traits, and that's who I model it on. So yeah,
it's an exciting time, Jared. Congratulations, GWS. We're at for you.
Thanks, Ago.
Good man. It's great to hear from some of these young players as they get drafted. Jared Pickett, Shifter. like to model himself on Chris Yarran. You'd like to see him covering the ground the way Chris does, wouldn't you?
Well, he does, or a Lewis Jetta. He's got that breakaway pace, and he backs him, and he arches the back. You love to see him take off. You stand in the grandstand, to be quite honest. You get that excited with the way he goes about his footy. And great to see his mate, Clem Smith. We started on it. Go a little bit later, Clem. Clem has got some brilliant ability. Indigenous boy from WA that's played some great senior footy. An All-Australian last year. Didn't have as great a year this year. So he's got some challenges in front of him, but gee, he can play. He's the pocket rocket of this year.
He certainly can play, Jason. He can play. He's a really tough little man as well, and loves playing that back pocket role where he just gets into his opponent and then gets off at the right time. Uses the ball very well by foot. As we see Pickett here on screen, though, this is what he can do. If you don't block his run, it's good night. He gets goal side and away he goes. And look at that. That's from outside 52. And how easy does he clear the line over there in WA?
We use the term the Rolls-Royce motor just about every year with somebody that can really go up that speed, just that acceleration very, very quickly to leave them in the wake.
Would you expect him to play senior football first year?
He's capable of. He played the last 5 games at senior level in the Waffle this year and handled himself very, very well against the men. So I think he's capable of playing some games for sure.
Which is always great preparation for some of these young men when they do play against the older men. I think it gives them greater confidence in their own capabilities, physically speaking.
Well, it does. The top players, especially in WA and South Australia and the Queensland through the eastern states, get the opportunity. The TAC Cup boys get to play as a 23rd player in the VFL at times, so the better ones do get that experience as well of playing against men.
And then late in the draft, that's where Josh McGuinness got up, the boy from Lauderdale. Again, a boy that made All-Australians. So they get All-Australians going late in the draft. That's how deep this draft was. So he reads it brilliantly across half-back. Averaged 26 disposals in the Nationals as a half-back. It was quite brilliant. And then Billy Frampton, the one we hadn't mentioned, a ruckman from WA, was just about the last one taken.
So that covers all the draft selections for 2014. We'll take a quick break, come back, have a look at all the 18 clubs, see who your club picked. Another great draft for the Giants. 3 picks inside the top 7. Wow, they are building a serious talent pool, this mob.
When you look across that is some talent to burn there with Pickett, Marchbank, Anna Hearn in 4, 6 and 7. And they still get a couple of good ones there at 23 and 24 shifter with McKenna and Steele.
Well, McKenna is the one from left field. Yep. Absolutely from left field. Was playing cricket and in fact played for Australia in underage cricket, but decided that he wanted to have a crack at the draft, put his name in, played some games just at the end of the year and was really getting ready for next year, but someone's taken him.
Shifter, explain to me why you pass at pick 72 and 80 and then use 85.
That was part of the academy selection. So Jeremy Finlayson was a bid player, bid on back in October, and you could take him at the end of the draft because no one placed a bid.
Wonderful, because there'll be people at home, like myself, thinking, why didn't they just take me at pick 72 instead of waiting for 75? So it's all to do with bidding for those academy players.